Well, Democrats are pushing their latest spending proposal called the American Jobs Plan, which they say is focused largely on infrastructure. But the bill actually only plans to spend less than 6% of the $2 trillion proposed to repair their bridges, highways, and roads, Steve. But as the name suggests, it is also supposed to create American jobs. Joining us now to discuss is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you.
All right. Well, you are on the House Committee on Small Businesses. How would this infrastructure plan affect small businesses? Do you think that it would help them?
Let me first say this. There is infrastructure projects that are needed in the United States, but this American Jobs Plan is a flat-out joke. This is travesty. It would destroy right-to-work laws in 27 states, states like my state of Florida. It creates what we're doing here is this expansion of Medicaid in this bill. You're talking about $130 billion going to community colleges, something Bernie Sanders has always wanted to do, to create free tuition in community colleges. It creates massive tax increases on corporations, which frankly are disastrous of a lot of small businesses in the United States because they do incorporate in the way that we tax significantly. This is not going to help jobs. It's frankly going to destroy them. We haven't even gotten to the fact that the only infrastructure, the real infrastructure in this bill, is about $160 billion. After that, you go down the liberal wish list of Bernie Sanders, something he wanted for a long time. This is not going to help jobs. It's only going to make matters worse here in the United States.
You know, Congressman, I think you make a great point there. If this were actually a clean infrastructure-only bill, it would probably sail through the Congress with very little opposition anywhere, really. But I want to ask you, too, Congressman, because you recently said that the infrastructure plan is, quote, China's dream and America's nightmare. What did you mean by that?
That's absolutely right, because it takes the eye off the ball. Two of the things they want to do in this bill is focus on a green energy. They want to focus on electric cars. They want to build 500,000 electric charging stations around the United States when nobody even knows that there's 500,000 electric cars on the road in the United States to support it. Once again, they go down this pathway of making more tax credits to buy electric vehicles, but that doesn't help poor Americans buy electric vehicles because, number one, the cost is too high. And number two, they don't pay enough in federal income taxes to take advantage of the tax credit. So that doesn't help them. All this does is get us focused on these Green New Deal policies, which the Chinese frankly love, because the Chinese understand what we seem to forget, is that if you don't have a strong fossil fuel-based economy, you don't have a strong economy, period. I believe in renewable power. I think it's something that we should definitely look towards, but we shouldn't be forcing it by the strong arm of government. It's something that the markets have to adopt over time. We're already trending that way. This jobs bill that the president likes to talk about is not going to hurt our country. It's not going to help our country. It's going to hurt it.
Yeah, you talk about the corporate tax rate. Under Biden's infrastructure plan, he wants to raise it to 28%. It's currently 21%. I found this interesting. Today, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen was out calling for this global minimum tax rate for corporations. What does this say when you have a member of Biden's cabinet out there trying to get the rest of the world to accept some corporate tax rate for everyone so that corporations won't be incentivized to leave the U.S. because the administration is raising the corporate tax rate so high? Does this concern you, not only for our economy, but also for small businesses?
It absolutely does. We should not be concerning ourselves with what's going on in other countries when it comes to their taxing policies and in some respects to their regulatory policies. We should be doing the things that matter most for Americans and America. That means making sure that our companies have a competitive advantage here at home. When we lowered the corporate rate to 21%, something that the left said could never, ever happen, what did we actually see? We saw more job creation in the United States. We actually saw record tax revenue go to the United States Treasury from our corporations. So we've already seen in practice what happens when you unleash our companies. What Janet Yellen is arguing for is for us to go ahead and raise the tax over this new global minimum tax and then slap the global minimum tax on as well. That's not going to keep our companies here. It's going to give them more creative ways to flee. This is not how you run an economy. You definitely don't do it out of this White House.
Right. Not to mention, I think it's pathetic that the United States, the greatest nation in history with the greatest economy in the world, is now reduced to going around begging other countries, please get competitive with us in taxes by raising your tax rates to ours. But listen, changing topics here, Congressman, I also want to ask you, on Friday, Major League Baseball decided to move the All-Star game out of Atlanta in response to Georgia's new voting integrity laws. This came after calls for MLB to boycott Atlanta, even from people including the Commander-in-Chief, President Biden. Do you find it odd that the MLB, in turn, is actually taking business away from a city that has the second largest number of minority-owned businesses in America?
I'm not surprised, because nobody ever told me that people who were woke were actually smart. This is actually a dumb policy. I mean, I stopped watching baseball for a while now because it's kind of boring, but that's just me. I think what they're doing is playing politics, and it's the worst kind. They are falling into the liberal lie coming from Stacey Abrams and Joe Biden, and it's atrocious. So when their ratings go down as a result, they should not be surprised that there are Americans who are going to see what they're doing is playing petty politics with something like as frankly as important to our country, like the All-Star game. They were going to honor Hank Aaron at this All-Star game in Atlanta. But because of the stupid politics of the left and trying to race bait and call it Jim Crow 2.0, and that's a flat out lie, you're going to see Major League Baseball go down this line like too many of our companies here.
Oh, it's so sad as well, because the people, Steve was saying this earlier, the people that they're so worried about is actually the people that they're hurting by taking this game away from a city. You think about all the tourism that would come in for the MLB All-Star game would help Atlanta, and now they're hurting that city by taking it away from them.
You're exactly right. This does not help the people of Atlanta. And frankly, what the Democrats in Atlanta and around the country are doing is not helping those people of Atlanta or the people of Georgia, because it's creating divisions and racial strife where none exist. Listen, Georgia's law is in a lot of respects similar to Florida's law. In Florida, we have a 150-foot buffer zone with people at the polling location. As somebody running for office or a political organization, you cannot electioneer within the no solicitation zone. That's the law in Florida. It being the law in Georgia makes total sense. Getting rid of these ballot drop boxes, which never happened in our country until COVID, makes sense. Making sure that we actually expand voting on Saturdays and Sundays provides more opportunity. So these knucklehead people who come up with these policies of abandoning Atlanta for the All-Star game, they should go read the bill and then make a decision after they do that.
I hope they do read the bill. I hope they take your advice and read the bill. We need more people doing that. Thank you so much, Congressman, for being here. Hope to have you back soon.
Thanks for having me, guys. You have a great day.
All right. What do governors think about this $2 trillion infrastructure plan? We're going to ask one next. Don't go away.